Venus and star blessings, everybody. This is just going to be a quick update on a couple of things that I think are super fascinating. So I will speak to an upcoming sextile between the divine goddess Venus forming a sextile to Saturn. But before I get to that, I just want to talk about some bizarre um, news, I guess you could say, that have transpired both in social media, mainstream news, etc. There is a lot of misinformation at this point, as there always is with mainstream media. But in any case, the fact still remains that some tunnels were discovered in New York City belonging to Jewish communities. And I've just found some really interesting things about that. But I just want to start with this quote. In times of universal deceit, telling the truth will be a revolutionary act. That is by George Orwell. I really love that quote because I think that is a slogan that could be, just tattooed in the sky for the last 3.5 years specifically. I think that statement really just encapsulates the construct of this reality and just simply how it's all falling apart. The chart you see on the screen is for the 8th of January, and I've set it for New York. And that time doesn't necessarily coincide with the moment of when those tunnels were discovered, because I can't actually find the exact time, but that is the date. It was on the 8th of January. So, I mean, this month, is one of the most fascinating, intriguing, powerful months I think that we've probably ever seen in our lifetime, and that is not an exaggeration. And the main reason for that is because the new moon that just happened yesterday, which in this chart, it's approaching. So there's the moon in Sagittarius, and it's approaching towards the sun. But we'll get to that in a minute. But just from the perspective of this month, we have the new moon in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto, trine Uranus, which I've already spoken about. Then we have, the sun forming an exact conjunction to Pluto at the last degree, and I think the last minute as well of Capricorn. Squaring the nodes. The full moon was square the nodes as well. And that's quite important because the nodal axis, these particular nodes, are the moon's nodes. So there's obviously something incredibly powerful coming to an end. Different directions of time are basically shifting. There's different timelines, if you like. Very, very big things are coming to a close, and incredibly powerful new directions are being birthed in this cycle of January, because after the sun forms a conjunction to Pluto at the last degree of Capricorn, we'll never see that again in our lifetime. Several days later, when the sun ingresses into Aquarius, 0 Aquarius, it forms a conjunction to Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius as well. And as I've mentioned a couple of times already, Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct the sun at 0 degrees of Aquarius, actually hasn't happened for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It didn't happen in the last Pluto and Aquarius cycle, for instance, 247, 48 years ago. So that's a very unique pattern and portal of energy unto itself. And we've got, in 1 month, we've got the sun, Pluto, completing something in Capricorn, and then just days later giving birth to something entirely new in the sign of Aquarius, with Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. That's, we've never seen that in our lifetime, and we haven't seen a sun-Pluto conjunction in Aquarius at 0 degrees for hundreds and hundreds of years. That is it's really hard to even articulate, the the possibilities around that, but it's a very, very strange energy, and it is a very futuristic energy as well. But going back to the matter of the tunnels being discovered in New York, I think it's quite ironic, you know, that tunnels were discovered. And as far as Palestine is concerned, you know, one facet of that horrific reality, which has been, you know, streamed live, in what right mind or rational mind or right reality do we have a live stream of murders taking place and people just watching all around the world and hardly anyone lifting a finger to help? In what reality does that actually sit right with humanity? It's incomprehensible, actually. That being said, the matter of tunnels has been a primal focus point for justifications of genocide, basically taking place in genocide. And I just think it's ironic that something of a similar nature has been discovered in New York. And what will come out of that, who knows? And what the actual truth about that at this point in time is, who knows? That there has been certain amounts of information come forth that are that doesn't look very good, let's just say. But the point is that, first of all, tunnels are ruled by Pluto because tunnels are underground, right? So this is a Plutonian matter, if you like. What it means and what it is and what its purposes are for and so on and so forth, we're not really sure at the moment. There have been multiple arrests over it, though, because it was an illegal construction, essentially. And like I said, the purpose of it and so forth is unknown, although there are some speculations and also some alleged findings within those tunnels that look very, very strange, things that were found that just don't look right at all. I won't bother talking about what that is because it will eventually come to complete light, I believe. But it is very, very bizarre. Now, the day that this happened, which is this day here on the 8th of January, as you guys probably know, I really love looking at asteroids because there are thousands of them, and you can, you know, put your money on it that you will, 9 times out of 10, you will find an asteroid that coincides with a particular event. And in this case, what I found was I found an asteroid called RAB, R-A-A-B, which is the closest word I could find to rabbi. And, you know, there was a rabbi, a particular rabbi involved in this incident that has been a spokesperson and so on and so forth. So I think that's relevant. That particular asteroid happens to be at 26 of Pisces, which is conjunct Neptune, which I think that is quite revealing. The other asteroid that I found was an asteroid called Chabot, which is the closest name to Chabad, which is the Chabad synagogue associated with these tunnels and the location and so on and so forth. So it's not a coincidence that 2 asteroids connecting to a specific theme, if you like, or description of something or someone are very closely aligned with Neptune. One is on Neptune and the other one, so the one that's conjunct Neptune, as I said, is Rabbi. And the other one that is connected to Neptune, it's at 24 degrees of Sagittarius, meaning it's square Neptune, is an asteroid called Chabad, right, which is the name of the synagogue. So that tells us immediately that there is massive BS around what's really going on with this story because Neptune is involved, right? And Neptune, from the point of view of events transpiring, on a, third dimensional reality will be fueled with lies, basically. So anyway, I just think that's, really, really super fascinating. So I'll leave those thoughts with you, and you can ponder on that if you wish. Perhaps there'll be more that I can cover down the track when there's just more revealed. And I mean, further to that, this is a discovery that's come about whilst Mercury has become visible in Scorpio in the Babylonian zodiac around about a week or so ago, close to a star that corresponds to digging up the dirt and finding secrets and dark things, right? And the headlines for this story, are, finding a secret tunnel in New York, right? It's just all Pluto, Scorpio type of events. So this chart here is the date of when transiting Venus has ingressed into Capricorn. Just a day or so before this, she ingressed into Capricorn, which will be around about the 26th, 25th of January, depending on your location. And what you can see here is that Venus in Capricorn forms a sextile to Saturn, right? Just here. In the same month, whilst we have, the new moon in Capricorn, we have the Sun-Pluto conjunction at the end of Capricorn, we have a Sun-Pluto conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius, massive month. We have transiting Jupiter sextile Saturn. I've already done a video on that, so I won't speak to that. That's here, these two here. This portal of energy, Jupiter-Saturn, is active really for about 6 months, right up until June. So that's a very favorable passageway for all of us, and collectively speaking. The next one that comes up is Venus sextile Saturn. This one's a much, much shorter passage, but it's in effect for around about a week or so, right? Because let me just show you. If we go to animate chart and just go to, say, this point here, 25th January Melbourne, 24th January for the Northern Hemisphere, Venus is within range of being sextile Saturn here. So as we proceed forward and watch Venus move through Capricorn, this is where they are exactly sextile on the 29th of January, 28th in the Northern Hemisphere. And we could say till around about, I want to say at least up to this point here, at least up to the 31st of January. So, close to a week, we could say that this passage is active. Why is this important? It's important because in the same month, we have transiting Saturn sextile Jupiter and transiting Saturn sextile Venus. First of all, Jupiter and Venus are the two benefics out of all the planets. Saturn is a malefic, but it is forming a favorable passage or aspect to the two benefics. Sextile aspects, very, very simply put, present opportunities for us. These opportunities, because they are coming through earth and water signs, do have a very strong association to our own initiation around it, right? Our own sense of things, our own intuition, our own action around it. I mean, action is definitely more associated with fire, and air is associated to networking and connecting with people and so forth. The air and fire pushes the energy out externally, and water and earth takes us inwardly. But it's that inward alignment, if you like, or, realization within of something that causes us to take a particular course of action, if you like. That's why I'm saying the word action. So two sextiles with two benefics sextiles speaking to opportunity. Saturn, in this case, because it is sextile, although it is a malefic, really suggests that perhaps the level of commitment or discipline or focus, dedication, things like that, are really supported by Saturn here. Saturn gives us the backbone of things. Saturn rules the backbone. It rules the skeletal system in the body. So when you say, when you make reference to somebody's backbone, that's actually a Saturn correlation. Saturn gives us that grounding, structural foundation to build things, right? So what are we building here? We are building things that correspond to Venus and Jupiter, which is all about love, creativity, opportunities, expanding ourselves, expanding our path, tuning into our dreams and ideals. You know, it's all the good stuff. Jupiter, Venus are all the feel-good portals, the feel-good energies, the feel-good transits. You know, they present the things in life that really bring us a sense of joy and happiness, basically, overall, and then more specifically correspond to the matters that Jupiter and Venus speak to. Now, Jupiter is always our teacher, our guru, the one who instills within us a sense of faith, a sense of confidence, confidence to move ahead in certain things in our life, the courage and confidence to do so, the belief and faith that we can do this, whatever it is that we are trying to do. And Venus, of course, brings in the focus of what's in our heart, what we really love, you know. And Venus, of course, is the principle of attraction. So she draws in and attracts to her what she is seeking to integrate, experience, and bring into her field of love, heart, and happiness. And of course, she corresponds to creativity, love, and relationships as well. Now, the other factor that really amplifies these two sextiles, and this is a really important point, there is a concept in astrology called reception. Reception is a very, very powerful significator in the alignment of two planets. And first of all, with Jupiter and Saturn, we have a one-way reception because Saturn is in Jupiter's sign. So when you have a reception, it amplifies that energy of those planets meeting together in the way that they are. It just makes that aspect a lot more prominent, or it helps it, it supports it in quite a profound way, actually. So we have that in play. We have a one-way reception with Jupiter and Saturn, which is, again, very, very favorable. Then with Saturn and Venus, we actually have a mutual reception, and that's even more powerful because it's a mutual reception as opposed to a one-way reception. It's a mutual reception because Saturn is in Venus's exalted sign and Venus is in Saturn's sign. So that sextile between Venus and Saturn it's like it's on steroids, you know, it's just amplified for all the beneficial elements that this sextile aspect can bring is amplified, basically. So in short, the things to think about really are, first of all, where are these transits occurring in your chart? And, you know, really just sit with focusing on these energies and where they are occurring in your chart and relating it to your personal circumstances and, you know, what you are going through or what you are trying to create or decide upon, or where you are looking for a greater sense of faith and belief in yourself and in what you are doing, in, you know, really tuning into Saturn's support and help here, because Saturn is a big player in life, period. And, when it shows up in a sextile aspect with the two benefics, it's really saying that, hey, I'm going to help you with what you are trying to achieve, with Venus and Jupiter. I'm going to assist you with the practical level of things, with the discipline that's involved, with the commitment that you may need to employ towards something. It adds that sort of serious level to it, where whatever you were trying to achieve with Jupiter and Venus, in this instance here, because Venus and Jupiter can be, they are benefics, and when something is benefic, just understand that it means that it comes in a way that's non-resistant or non-conflicting. It's not difficult. So when something isn't difficult, it can make us a little bit lazy. Okay. When you have a lot of trines going on, that can be amazing in a lot of ways, but it can also be a position we take where we become complacent. We become a little bit lazy because things are just super comfortable. It's just logical. When we are in crisis, when something is difficult and something is uncomfortable and awkward, that's when we usually get off our ass to actually, make a change, because we don't like what we are feeling or what we're experiencing or what we are participating in, right? So it's that conflict or crisis or sense of awkwardness or feeling uncomfortable that causes us to take a particular course of action that will help us change that situation. So when something is easy and comfortable and there's no resistance, we tend to, as I said, become more complacent. And that's why Saturn in this picture is incredibly valuable, because Saturn helps this Jupiter-Saturn, these sextiles, to really do something real with these sextiles, to really make something of it, to, just simply make something of this energy, right? Rather than just sitting around and not doing anything with it, just feeling it and dreaming about it and so on and so forth. As I said, Venus, Jupiter, they essentially don't bring harm, and they're not planets that create, generally speaking, that create difficult passages. They are they are the divinities that bring joy and happiness and abundance and love, the more pleasant aspects of life, let's say. So Saturn in this picture really supports these planets to achieve the best of what they can in this situation, which is through a sextile aspect, which basically presents opportunities. But the opportunity will come through your own realization within, and your own decisions around that, and what you decide to do with what awakens or what is realized inside you. So that's really all I wanted to say for today. But just note that this sextile with Venus and Saturn actually occurs on the full moon. See that? There's a full moon in Leo. And the full moon in Leo happens with a Sun-Pluto conjunction in Aquarius. This is just unbelievable energy. And of course, I'm going to come back and speak to this full moon, unto itself. But I decided to give you the heads up on this aspect between Venus and Saturn, because it will just give you more of an opportunity to really reflect on it and process it and think about how you might want to take advantage of this opportunity by your own creation, your own co-creation, as we lead and step closer towards this portal, right? Because from around about the 24th, 25th of January, Venus will be coming into a sextile to Saturn, so a couple of days before the full moon. And I think it's important to really just reflect on that before the full moon kicks in. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to think about that, because it's it's a gift from the goddess, and it's a gift from Jupiter as well. these two sextiles are a gift, and they are an opportunity to experience the gift of what's being offered by these two benefic divinities or planets. And it's not about just receiving, it is about giving as well. You know, I think the more we can understand that there is a gift in the process of giving as opposed to just receiving, that equates to, you know, having gratitude to the universe, right? And having gratitude for your life and the things that are in your life, you know, the things that support you, whether it's people or whatever it is, you know, just having a sense of appreciation and gratitude seems to have a natural way of drawing more of that abundance into your life, because when you are grateful and appreciative, your heart is open, you know. When we are ungrateful and non-appreciative, we are usually in a space where we are either angry or not able to open our heart. You know, we are resistant and we are more sort of withdrawn, if you like. And the more we contract and withdraw, the less open we are to possibilities, new things coming into our life, you know, because we've blocked ourselves, whether we are conscious of it or not, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, by holding on to a space where we are limiting ourselves in terms of what can happen, because every day something new can happen in some kind of way, right? It's not the case that every day we experience massive, big opportunities and massive transitions. We simply wouldn't be able to cope with that if that was happening every day. But there is always a story unfolding and things leading us towards our destiny, right? Which is the part of Damon. I'll leave it there, but I forgot to mention this at the beginning, which I wanted to. So hopefully you've stayed all the way through. My classes are starting on the 21st of January, which is, you know, not far away at all. I'm still waiting to hear back from a few of you. So, you know, if you're thinking about it, that's fine. Just let me know what your thoughts are, you know, and if I can answer any questions, you know, I will. And for those of you that are not aware, you know, just email me if you're interested. It's going to be a 12-week series of classes, and it's going to be a beautiful journey, a deep discovery into planets and asteroids, basically, from an evolutionary perspective, and some Babylonian traditional perspectives as well. So whether you are a beginner or even intermediate, you will benefit greatly. And even if you consider yourself beyond that, you will still benefit, because my style is very, very eclectic, you know. We'll be looking at lots of chart examples, which I did in the first series as well. And having, you know, studied astrology for 26 years and still going, and I will be going till my last breath and into my next life, I'm sure about that, as I've previously done in other lifetimes, meaning one of the most powerful ways to learn astrology is by observation and correlation. And that really means exploring chart after chart after chart after chart. Because every chart you look at, even though you are looking at the same symbols, there is a different story unfolding in every single chart, depending on who the soul is. Because of that, we learn different things. We learn new things every time we look at a chart. Just think about that. We are looking at a chart that has the exact same symbols every single day, or for every single soul, yet we arrive at a different unfolding of the story that's being told in the chart. So it's an infinite learning journey when you have a relationship to the study of the stars, what I like to call God's or the goddesses' language. There's an asteroid called Astrology, by the way, and the asteroid Astrology is conjunct my South Node, exactly, the exact same degree. I'm sharing that because I've always known that I have been an astrologer previously. I knew that the first time I opened my first book and I started reading, which was around about the age of 12. When I was reading, I knew what I was reading. I understood it. I didn't have to think about it or try to learn it. It just came so naturally to me. And so the asteroid Astrology being conjunct my South Node is just a clear indication of me having been an astrologer in the past. So asteroids are really, really worth, sorry, it's not an asteroid, it's an Arabic part, actually, pardon me. There is an asteroid Urania, which corresponds to the study of astrology, and well, she's conjunct my Venus, so that also speaks to my love of astrology. You know, Venus is what you love, and I've got Urania exactly conjunct my Venus. Getting back to the part conjunct my South Node, it's an Arabic part. So there's an Arabic part called the part of astrology that you can construct and put in your chart and see where it is. So asteroids and Arabic parts are really, really powerful components of astrology to learn and to work with, and I will be teaching all of that. So yeah, reach out if you're interested, and I will see you guys very, very soon. I hope that you are all well and safe, and sending love and peace to all souls. And honestly, I think we are really stepping into the most bizarre year that we've probably ever had in our life. 2024 is going to be the strangest year. I have no doubt about that, because just quickly, you know, Pluto going back into Aquarius this month, which will be the third time. It goes back into Capricorn again, but then by the time we reach November of this year, Pluto fully commits to Aquarius. It never goes back to Capricorn again. Well, you know, in our lifetime, and for many, many years to come, obviously. So this year is the year where these cycles where things have been ending, where things have been destructing, literally on a global scale, that started in 2008 when Pluto first ingressed into Capricorn. This is the year where it all comes to a complete end and goes into a whole other stream, you know, with Pluto in Aquarius, which is going to be extremely bizarre on a number of different levels. And there will be many, many dark things that will be revealed that will blow people's minds out of the water. I have no doubt about that. There will be a lot of amazing things that come out of this, but there will be a lot of dark things revealed as well, which is the nature of Pluto. So get ready. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.